Hi, everyone. This is the Shawn1113 podcast show, recorded on April 29th, 2026. We're almost in the month of May. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for listening to Shawn1113 podcast show in any and all platforms and anywhere and everywhere around the world for over 250 episodes. This is 252 officially, but over 250 episodes. I just found out for myself. I just want to thank you so much, wherever you are, wherever you may be. Also, our sixth anniversary coming up of this podcast in May, at the end of May. I will take a little bit of a summer kind of a summer break from podcasting a little bit. But on top of that, like I said, I'm going to relax a little bit when that happens. But thank you so much for this I'm thankful for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening to it, whether we agree or disagree, what have you. But it's been a blast for over 252 episodes and counting, and any platform and everywhere in the world. With that, thank you so much. Now let's go on to something very important. And to me, the NHL NBA playoffs have already started. French Open tennis coming on pretty soon, actually. Um, like I said, I'm going to pick Alcatraz to win the French Open in the men. In the women, I'm Swatik right now. I think I see her winning the French women, but it's more wide open in the women's in the ladies. So to me, and also I got an opinion about the tennis, greatest men's tennis player in French Open history, and I believe it's Nadal in the modern era, and the old school era is beyond board. That's my opinion. If you disagree, comment down below at Sean47K at gmail.com. See if we agree or disagree on that. Um, that's coming up. PGA Championship pretty soon. Um, probably the first two you'll probably think of is Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy, rightfully so. But I think we'll have a first-time winner, in my opinion. Of course, I wouldn't be surprised if McIlroy and Scheffler won the PGA again. But in my opinion, I think it's time for a first-time winner to come out of there, or an unknown to come out of there. Excuse me, 1 second with my usual coffee. Excuse me. But the thing is, the PGA Championship coming up, and not that far away. And then not that far away is going to be the U.S. Open in June, somewhere around Father's Day weekend. And in advance, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, because May 10th will be Mother's Day. So enjoy that as well. Now let's get on to press seconds, the NHL. NHL. And I see right now, what I see right now is very good series. Most of them tied at 3-2 or 2-2. Um, the best series to me has got to be the Fly. Has got to be a couple of ones I'm really enjoying. Penguins and Flyers I've enjoyed. Penguins were the favorite. The Flyers again. These series are not over yet, or the NBA as well. So we'll see what happens there, one way or the other. Lightning Canadians, I've enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the Vegas Utah series. I really have enjoyed it. Saw the other night, Golden Knights nearly lost but won in overtime. Wild at Minnesota Wild. I literally live in Minnesota, so I have a rooting interest there. Buffalo and Boston. Can the Sabres come away on Game 6? We'll see what happens. Like I said, it can go either way. Like I said, NHL playoffs are the most intense playoffs, followed by baseball, as far as that goes. So now let's go to the NBA, and I will be also talking about the NFL draft. I just want to get that out of the way. NBA Spurs won their series over Portland. 76ers hanging on. I think Knicks were going to take Knicks won, and then that was it last night. So Oklahoma City already won their series. Um, and yes, I have to. And Toronto fans, yes, I have to apologize. I underestimated Toronto, and they were better than I thought. The most impressive thing are the LA Laker Rockets series. What happened to Houston? The Lakers look like they turned back across to LeBron, and they're winning some games without Reeves or Luca. Man, even more surprising is what happened to Detroit Pistons so far. The Magic just playing them, outplaying them at this point. Can the Pistons figure? Can Detroit figure them out before it's too late? I don't know. Nuggets and Wolves, two Wolves, without DiVincenzo and a hurt Anthony Edwards, they still lead 3-2 as of this recording. I'm very interested to see what happens there. I'm still favoring the Nuggets, but I don't know. I don't know at this point. We'll get to again. The Thunder are still going to be the favorites to win it all in the first place, and until you beat them, everything else is wide open in the East and the West. Now on to the standings for the Major League Baseball so far. Excuse me. One second. So far in the American League, Yankees playing better baseball right now at 9-1 in the American League East, followed by the Rays, Orioles, disappointing Blue Jays so far. Red Sox fire Alcor. No surprises. Tigers, Royals jumbled up about 2.5 games. Again, still a long way to go. Then you have the American League West. Athletics surprising. I think at some point it's going to be Seattle. It's only a matter of time. Texas. We'll see what happens in the American League. Yankees are the front runners at this point. At this time of the week, year, day, uh, whatever. It's early. And then the Atlanta Braves. Wow, wow, the Atlanta Braves. The disappointment I think is in the Philadelphia Phillies. New York Mets have lost about 12 or 13 in a row. Before then, the Atlanta Braves are playing some really good baseball right now. 8-2 in their last 10. Wow, and they win. They can win better. They can win much as on the road as they do in away. Watch out. Cincinnati, Chicago, and St. Louis in the moment. That's jump up in the NL Central. I like Cincinnati though. I'm predicting the Cubs to win the division. I don't know. And then the NL West, Dodgers and Padres, and those two. I think those two are going to be right there for the entire year. I really do. Dodgers and Padres, in my opinion. That's the MLB standings there. Then I'm looking at English Premier League. Again, the real drama, two real dramas here. Of course, Arsenal, Man City, 3 points separating those two teams. The real drama is where Tottenham becomes deregulated. I don't know. West Ham is right there. They Tottenham did win their game this week. Anywhere from 16th, anywhere again, you got 3 to 4 matches coming up. Um, Tottenham, oh, Burnley and Wolverhampton are leaving. West Ham and Tottenham, in my opinion, if you're anywhere from first to 16th, you're probably safe. You're more likely safe. You just gotta keep winning those games. Gotta keep winning. That's what. But Tottenham, that would be a disaster. I've watched some YouTube videos on what would happen if they get deregulated Tottenham. That would be a disaster. West Ham can take the hit because they were deregulated before and they came back to the league. And we'll see there. We'll see. Even more fascinating is the English Football League Championship standing. It's right here. Coventry, congratulations to them. The real race is from second to sixth. Ipswich Town and Millwall and Middlesbrough. I mean, those teams, those second or fourth, who gets promoted to the English Premier League there, and then six to seven, six to eight, who gets that sixth spot for the playoff? I don't know, man. It's again, I think Coventry when they get to the league 2026, 27 season, English Premier League season, they're going to be a dangerous team. They have the potential to be dangerous. Let's put it that way. Be a dangerous team. We'll see what happens there. And what happened to Real Madrid in La Liga, by the way? What happened to that team? Wow. Let me look it up for 1 second. And yes, I promise I'll be watching, looking at the NFL draft. Barcelona's on top, Real Atletico Madrid. I mean, my team in La Liga is Atletico Madrid, although they have been slumping pretty much for the most part. But they are in fourth, and they'll be safe. Sevilla, okay. What happened to Real Madrid, though? Let me look away for Championship League real quick. My apologies, because I got to see. Nottingham, Forest, and Villa, Freiburg, and Braga. Wow. Did not expect that. I did not expect that. And they did go to the Champions in July. Just in May 20th, okay. So whoever goes to the UFIS finals, man, nice surprise there. No Barcelona, no Man City, none of those teams. Wow. Wow. We'll see though. Somebody's going to win their first for a while. And like I said, they got those two legs, but the UEFA Championship League. Now, speaking of FIFA, again, that's coming up pretty soon. We'll get more in detail about that as time goes on. In the world of boxing, Usyk going on that kickboxing, kickboxer. Usyk is the best. I mean, look, Usyk is the best pound for pound in the world. So he should win that pretty much. And in a way, against Nakataki in Japan, that's a potentially fight of the year right there with those two fighters. So I'm just letting you know that something's going on there. Now, as far as the NFL draft goes, actually, NFL draft. I'm here to tell you this was mainly the defensive draft and the offensive line draft. If you're looking at 2026, that's exactly what it was: an offensive line draft and mainly a defensive draft, in my opinion. There wasn't a year for quarterbacks. There were some standout wide receivers and running backs. And Mendoza going to the Raiders, no surprise there. He'll be behind Kirk Cousins for a bit before he eventually takes over. So and people were moaning and wailing about the Ty Simpson pick of the Rams. I'm gonna say this in my opinion. I believe the Rams pick, in my opinion, you got to event. Maybe this one. I mean, Alabama corn have not been shown flashes, but not been successful. I get why people say that, but at some point, if you're the Rams, you got to replace Matthew Stafford. It just is. Is Ty Simpson the one? We'll see with that. But and people were debating about Simpson got too high. Well, maybe, but in my opinion, I don't know. The 2027 class though, will more likely be a better class. Tennessee probably, to me, the team that won this draft, if anyone of any, is Tennessee. They become defensive minded, and also getting Cornell Tate for Campbell to throw to. It's a pretty good deal, but I think Tennessee won that draft, to be honest with you. with the defensive talent, Robert Sala being the defensive guy as the Tennessee's coach. So we'll see what happens there against the NFL. The next thing the NFL will have is the schedule, and then when that happens, we'll see what happens, and we'll see from there. And with that, that is the Shawn1113 podcast show. I've said already enough for April 28th, April 29th, I'm sorry, 2026. If you loved this, please put a 5-star rating, rate and review it. Also, Shawn47 at gmail.com. Any commentary, any inquiries, whatever, any opinions, whatever. And by the way, I'm going to make this a debate as well. One more thing. Who's the better player in baseball? Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge when they're healthy? Ohtani or Judge when they're healthy? That's my opinion about it. Put comment below and comment at comment on Spotify for Creators.com or Shawn47K at gmail.com. And with that, that is the Shawn1113 podcast show. Please stay encouraged no matter what. Live your life as normal as possible in a normal world and question everything and anything. This is the Shawn1113 podcast show. God bless you.